Indeed, just keep on trying. Time will actually come one of these days. My name is Titus V. Ballah. I want to welcome you to Screen Vision. This is an online platform where we usually discuss a series of issues. Life is kind of a difficult, so you just have to keep on trying. Just keep on trying. Don't give up, because if you keep trying, one of these days you're going to be successful. But just imagine if you give up, meaning there is no hope of being successful. So whatever you are doing, I mean, to earn your living, just keep on trying. Whether you are going to school, like some people believe that through education you're going to be successful. Some guys believe that through business, you are doing your business. They didn't go to formal school, but somehow they are educated as well. So those people, they are also pushing. So whatever way you think you can, I mean, earn your living, I mean, to take care of your family, you have to just keep on trying. Just keep on. One of these days, your time will surely come. And that was the voice of the man Moses Soiree. So I want to welcome you to our Screen Vision. Usually we don't appear on Thursday, but this one is an emergency show because we have our inauguration program coming up on the 24th, which will be on Sunday in Yanza. So, and the person who is coming up, he want to discuss the issue before the thing overpower. As you may be aware, the financial secretary, Mr. Sylvester Blessing Jayjay, is our financial secretary, and his time is already gone because by Sunday he's going to be turning over everything. So the man want to clear his sack. He don't want tomorrow people like be thinking about how much did they give to the current leadership, the outgoing leadership, how much was in the cover, like what happened, during their time. We know guys, when the turnover asks what was in the cover, why you guys give to the current leadership, there were nothing. We asked the people, they said nothing. Some saying it was only 100. So the man surrounds up blessing JJ. He don't want it to be like that. He's a promising young man who is coming up. He loves transparency, accountability. So he don't want anything to try to play around the repetition he's built over the years. So that's why I want to clear his out how everything went. You want to discuss it tonight. So I want you to invite your colleagues, your anybody you think that is supposed to hear this. Try to invite somebody and please share our show. But I will want to say congratulations to our colleagues who defended a thesis today in what is place name? Gisenyi, yeah, in Gisenyi. The Kigali Independent University branch in Gisenyi. There are a lot of Liberians staying on that side. So few defended the TC today. I guess tomorrow some will be defending the TC. I just spoke with one of the comrade there. He said tomorrow he will be defending. That's the man Julius. I wish you well, comrade. And in Mosanzi, Sampala last week, there are some folks that defended my children. That's patient Kone, she defended, patient corner defended the gun time. And prayer, we also have there are a lot of people. Tene, I mean, the list go on and on. There are too many people who defended the gun time from Osanzi, from Ines, and we hope that October they are going to walk away, with a bachelor degree in various discipline. So, having said that, we encourage you to share our show tonight. Encourage people to talk to somebody. Look, we are back. We want to say sorry. We apologize for not actually, appearing on. There are a lot of things. We transition from bachelor to master level, so the responsibility kind of a huge. And most of us who on the platform now, we are master students, so it's not easy now. The responsibility kind of a huge. We got a lot of things doing, so that's why. But we're trying to reorganize. I mean, to come back, and I think now we are back. So, want you to share our show, encourage your friends. Yeah, encourage your friend to follow the conversation tonight. We hope to have the men, Broske Gwambei. We want to say congratulations to Broske Gwambei. The students from Nimba in East Africa, they had their election this gone time, and our own Broske Gwambei won the election. Yeah, so there are a lot of posts from Uganda, people celebrating from Kigali. I want to say congratulations to you, comrade. We hope that you will lead well because I know what you can do. I know what you're capable of doing. So the Nima people can just rest and show you guys have a very good leader. And I think all those other people who were let alone with Broski one day and know they are capable of doing something good for the people. So we want to say thank you so much for following. Thanks for always sharing our show. So we are back. We have a very unique community, and let me say this: the guys from Bon County do also have their organization. Yeah, I understand that they come in September 27 next month. They're going to launch their organization and fundraising program as well. So we hope that if you are from Bon County around East Africa, you can make your way to Kigali. Try to connect the people from Bon County so that you can be in the chat room. At least let's make a big family. Me too. I'm from Bon County. I'm from Nima. I'm from you're not Noma County. I'm from so. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Happy birthday to everyone who have their birthday today. And everyone who have their birthday in the month. The man Achilles Johnson, the man birthday in this month. I don't want to call it day, but his birthday is in the month. So we plan to do one or two though, going to knock border somewhere. We hope that God going to give him long life. So and let me say good evening to the man Emmanuel Patrick. Emmanuel Patrick is the current chairman of the Liberian Community in Rwanda. Few days from now, he's going to be out. Yeah, outgoing chairman, Mr. Emmanuel Patrick. And let me say good evening to the current chairman, Chairman Eka. Yeah, good evening, Eka and team, the man Winston, Cooper, and the legs of the SG there. Bill, I want to say congratulations to you guys for winning the election. We hope that you guys are going to lead the people well. We saw it because we were invited to a program, I call it a program or a meeting where we were, we give our input when it comes to planning the 1 year plan, strategic 1 year plan for the Liberian community here in Rwanda. We were there, we make our input. I think it's a good start. So if you guys continue like this, like I said in the meeting the other day, I think you're going to do well. So we are going to waste your time. Let's try to bring JJ, the man Sylvester Blessing JJ. Let's bring Mr. Sylvester Blessing JJ on so that we can start our conversation. Good evening, Sylvester. How you doing?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ballah, and good evening to our listeners and our listeners out there. I want to believe that everyone is doing great, and I'm well and good.
Okay, that's good. Uh, so folks, you listen to Sylvester JJ. Sylvester in our live. Kind of share and so that this broadcast can reach to many people as possible. So please share, encourage your colleagues, man. Please share our show. Let me do some adjustment here in studio.
So, how things, Mr. Ballah?
Yeah, I'm okay. How's your end? You're about to leave office, my man.
No,
What's going
no.
on for your end? You're about to live your peaceful life now. When I say peaceful life, nobody
Man,
will say, "Oh, you gotta make your report, you gotta do this one, you gotta do this one, there are a lot of pressure behind this job. So I know
yes,
that,
of course, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is. Yeah, a lot of
So, folks,
pressure.
Sylvester Blessing JJ is the financial secretary of the Liberian community here in Rwanda. And, during the campaign time, the man, he faced the flyer. I saw the flyer. The man was encouraging people to vote for him. He was talking about capital mobilization, with sound financial management, standardized and timely financial reporting. I think you guys saw it in the chat room. He was always there reporting, sending some information, but he want to talk for himself. So let me just give you some before I can call Sylvester. Let me just give you some brief information what we're going to discuss tonight. Elaborate community. I think you guys going for 1 year, right? Now it is two
Yes.
years. 1 year. So 1 year you guys been working, and now they're about to turn over. Comes the 24th on Sunday. So we thought of discussing some issue around financial something. The issue about money is serious. Yeah, when it comes to that aspect, we don't want it to be like the previous leadership who left. power we are coming to the public probably to discuss, to tell them, or the financial secretary to tell them, look, we have this in our cover and we are turning this over so that the public can be aware. And tomorrow the public will hold this identical leadership accountable. By the end of the day, nothing was done. If we ask the current leadership, Emmanuel Patrick and his team, he said no, they left $100. We tried chasing the financial secretary, the treasurer, no, I mean, so we don't want it to be like this. This time around, we want it to be clear. So that's why we thought of inviting JJ, and it was good that he won our invitation to come on to discuss some issue that surrounds their tenure. Yeah, there's his experience doing their tenure. When it comes to the finance aspect, the system. Why they inherited, why was built. I mean, those donations that were made. When it comes to then he also going to discuss the current state of the financial state. When I say the current state, let's look at finance aspect right now about the community. How much do we have in our cover? How much do we have in our cover now? We want to discuss that. How much do we have in our cover? And there were some programs that were initiated during that time. Yeah, those programs, it went well. You're going to tell us about the program as well. How was it financed? Yeah, you're going to tell us more about it. And so we're going to dive into politics, no small, to asking some few questions when it comes to the current leadership. They had a whole team, but during the campaign, I saw some split. People went side, another person went on the other side. So we also dive into that as well. And for us, we usually support progress. We are not a politician. We are technicians. That's why on this platform we don't really discuss politics to the fullest. We usually
Mhm.
discuss issues that support uh, transparency, accountability, community development, and so forth. So we don't really discuss politics yet. Yeah, but it's good. Politics is good, but when we look at our country back home, like the way every radio station you open, I mean, once you turn the radio station on, you're going to hear people discussing politics. So at the end of the day, even if you ask a kid in a kindergarten, they're going to tell you that I want to become a representative, I want to become a
Mhm.
senator. Because everybody, yeah, the whole country, everybody want to become somebody. Everybody want to become lawmaker because the people just feel that the only way they can succeed and they can be successful is through being, to those positions. So that's why we don't really encourage the politics, but it's good to be part of it. So on the program that we usually discuss our issue environmental talk here to sensitize the people about the state of the environment. I'll ask you to give your input. That's what we do here. So let me say thanks to the man Musa, my uncle Musa, Ambassador Musa Kamara. Musa was speaking tonight. I want to say thank you so much. The mayor is watching, and I also have who is this? David Colley. David is watching from Liberia, Monrovia. Thank you, David, for following. And who is this? Yadini C. Williams. And we have a financial man watching tonight. So I hope like Yadini going to answer the necessary question. You're going to
That,
call.
that, that man is a watchdog.
Yeah, Dini, I want you to answer the next question tonight. Don't joke. Yeah, Dini. Yeah, Dini is watching closely. So come if you are discussing tonight, you should understand how you're going to discuss the issue tonight because you have somebody, the financial
That's a whole
expert.
there. As a matter of fact, after my turn, uh, uh, that man will be the one to audit all of the financial statement that I've prepared over time and maybe identify discrepancy if there's any.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. That's
so,
good.
so,
Okay.
so so he wants. I want to believe that he wants to get some evidence for me, and
Yeah,
verbal
sure.
evidence.
It's necessary, necessary. So thanks for watching Yadini and let's go into serious business now. Sylvester JJ, welcome to Screen Vision. We know you always here, but today you are here in different form. So we want to welcome you officially to the platform.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Ballah, and I like the introduction and the warming up exercise for these discussion points. And I can remember, thank you for the opportunity first to begin with. I can remember the last time I appeared on this platform as a guest. It was some part of last year in October. when I was discussing the approved community budget. And now here we are again. And despite me being a member of the platform, but in no way, I cannot have a time to tell my stories. And our discussion tonight unpack success and also failure. And, I'm the straightforward person. I'm not that kind of type of politician that every time they want the grease to be on them and they don't want nobody to identify them as failure whatsoever. But again, it's an honor being here to at least in this public manner to tell the residents of the Liberian community in Rwanda, how the performances have been over time, given the mandate that I vowed to on that fateful day of August 24th when I took oath, and what I also campaign on. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sylvester. I actually wanted you to introduce yourself. Who is Sylvester JJ within the Liberian community? Though I stated it, but I wanted you to start from there, let people know who is Sylvester JJ.
Yeah, so again, JJ is like a household name in Rwanda, So my name is Sylvester Blessing JJ, and I'm the outgoing financial secretary. I'm an emerging professional and passionate about progress, especially with regards to the growth and development of our community in Rwanda.
Okay. So now, you have been in the position for a couple of months now, and you're about to leave the position. So now, the community want to understand where are we when it comes
Yeah.
to, let's start, when it comes to our financial situation, when it comes to all these things that I just listed. Talk about some of the programs you guys initiated, how are they fund us, and stuff like that. So I want to give you the opportunity now to start. Tell us.
So, generally, from a broader perspective, I can openly tell residents of this community in terms of finance, I think we are on a good path. Despite there has been some turbulence along the way, upflow, downflow. But on the overall, we are 100% on path and good enough. The current chairman elect, the chairman elect, and the outgoing chairman, they are all from the same administration. So the new chairman knows exactly what he's inheriting, and he knows fully well that what he's inheriting is something substantial that they can leverage on to enhance development where we stop. So in terms of finance, we are in a very good position. As a matter of fact, although I will go in details, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
let me
So
just
let's start on the pace, right? That
mm,
first to get your experience doing your tenure, though you are still there. Let's get your experience doing your tenure as financial secretary. How was it like? I mean, your first time going to the I don't know what is your first time, sorry to say, but well, it was your first time, that's good. But acceding to the position, there are a lot of things that comes with it, you
yeah,
know.
sure.
A lot of hard and pull, you need to, check and balance. How was it like?
So it's something that I had to put my knowledge into practice. Maybe I did not say this, but in practice, I have some background in accounting. Despite I did my first degree in economics, but those fundamentals, it has been with me for over years. So it's just about me putting it into practice. And if you can recall, I used to be one of those that have been agitating for proper financial management over
Mhm.
time. And I expected that I was going to inherit a broken or a fragile system,
Oh,
especially from the
you were already expecting that.
Of course, I already expected that because from how things went, on that basis, I had to do early preparation.
Hmm.
And interestingly, Mr. Bala, at that time, I have not even registered to contest the election. I have
Wow.
started. I began to work along with the current chairman to see how best we can strategize and plan, do preparation of budget even before we could have registered for election. So to tell you how prepared I was, because I saw the system,
Wow.
I saw
Wow.
how fragile it was, and and it was evident when we were into the transition. The financial secretary was nowhere to be found. Things that we're supposed to lay our hand on. Oh, where you store, where can I pick up from? Nothing of such was available. And even if you have copy of the budget that we
Hmm.
prepared last year, normally when you're doing budget, you have to do comparison from what happened from the previous years, and how
Yeah.
can you do it. But unfortunately, there was nothing to be in no document to have review and take some points from. So we have to start everything from scratch. So that's just my first experience. Actually expected that, and I came to this office with that expectation to change. And over time, it has been rough. It
Hmm.
has been rough. Yeah, sincerely, it has been rough. But how well you manage the situation, and will make you to at least achieve, some of those things that you anticipated to have achieved. And thankfully, we were able to do so. So, like I said earlier, we inherited a system where there was no template for financial reporting. And interestingly, again, to say that we did some reform in the statute, especially the
Hmm.
constitution that brought us to power. Many things in it was somehow, it was pointing the direction of proper financial management. None of such. So we
Okay.
intended to. It was almost like a whole the office. We had to overhaul everything. So we had to use the law to ensure that we put this thing in place as preparation and what of you. So the experience was rough, but at least we were able to thrive and achieve some of what we anticipated of.
I don't really get it, Sylvester. So you are telling the public tonight that when you guys were taking over, you guys took over like the people can say a broken economy. There were nothing to lay yeah, to lay hands on. I mean, like you already said, if you are taking over office, you have to work with existing documents. Yes, look at existing documents, all the progress that were made, and you can look at that to make adjustments. If you can continue, if you can make adjustment, but nothing like that. So that means you guys started over everything.
Of
Is that what you
course.
tell us tonight?
Yes, of course. We did, and this is not a secret. This is not a secret. Even the past administration at some point in time saw the need to appreciate my office and the leadership in totality for the job well done. This is nothing in secret.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing in secret.
And folks, if you are watching, we don't want for similar things to happen. That's why we decided to invite Sylvester Jayjay, and it was good that he honored our invitation to come out and discuss some of these things. I mean, you can a lot of young people, controlling a community, serving the people. At the end of the day, there were a lot of funds that you play with. You cannot give account. You just leave the office like that. No proper record when it comes to the financial aspect. Even I don't know whether it was only financial aspect, but I know probably there are other aspects where there were no proper, documentation that were presented to you guys. How can
And
young
and
people do that?
aside of the financial aspect, there were also a lot of pitfalls in the administrative operation as well. Though I don't have the authority to speak much about that, but those are things that, in fact, let me tell you, those reform from my end,
Hmm.
there was no payment voucher.
Just imagine that. So they were just doing payment like randomly. Oh my god.
There was no requisition form.
Hmm.
Most of all, there was no budget of operation. So that so that means when Mr. X woke up in the morning, he feels good and says, "Oh, gentlemen, let's summon to my house and have party."
Oh my God.
Which is why. What do you
Oh,
have? Give that thing to the woman. Let she prepare food for us and eat and drink and discuss community matter.
oh my God.
So. But though we'll come to the politics side, but this is
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
the
No, it is
reality.
good. I like the way we are starting
So,
it because
so,
it is.
so, so those were the reform. Like I told you, anticipated that I would have, and experienced and encountered that. So immediately, I
Mhm.
told
So
the
yeah,
current
because
chairman, "I
there where I
come."
want us to there where I want us to drive now. You
Mm.
already vision it I will come in. So you
Yeah.
decide to do a a preparation
So
before you could take over the office.
immediately, I told the chairman, we have some plans on hand,
Mhm.
like the expression of the diaspora community. Then having the community for the community to have a functioning website. We have to
Mhm.
buy all our office because when you want to register the community, you have to rent office space. And when you
Yeah.
rent office space, it will not be an empty room. You have to buy a table, you have to buy chairs. So all of those things were anticipated. Why
Wow.
can we chairman draft a plan? I'll look at the plan, or we have already buy in the same vision because for as a matter of fact, we were together 2023. We campaigned the length and breadth of of this country, but unfortunately, we lose to the former administration. And so we
Yeah.
decided to try again, and with those plans that we had, we started to do early preparation. And while we were putting that one in place as a matter of good governance and financial management, we said
Mm.
no, we cannot just do this without having it enshrined in the law or in the
Okay.
statute. So, Chairman, there where your political will comes in. What we are practicing now, instead of in terms of having payment voucher, having budget, having requisition form, and those mechanisms that will track cash going out, cash coming in, and what have you. So we had to enshrine it in the law. So if you can even check now the current statute, those were some of the reforms, and that catalog in line with the rule of law for financial management. So we
I
had to
mean,
do
what's
that.
there?
We had to do that, and the budget the budget was not something like two persons sit and get ready and then we pass it. Mm-mm. It has to go through scrutiny. As you know, that we have a national executive committee which constitutes chapters head of those various provinces that have representatives. They have to ask a tough question. Mr. Jayjay, why are we paying? Why did we budget this amount for this item? And I had to justify, so the
Yeah.
ensuring that at the end of the day, our budget will be scrutinized based on how we manage fund generated and fund spent.
So we were talking about assistance. So what's about asset community? What are some of those things you guys, yeah, physical things, that you could lay hands on from the previous leadership?
So maybe I don't want to be demeaning, but I can say just the audit report of the Johnson administration.
Wow.
Yeah, and that audit report was not something in secret. Everyone knew about it, so we needed to have had capital. And even some recommendation from that audit report at that time, before the audit report would have come out, the recommendation mentioned in that report was something that we were already implementing.
Wow.
So to tell you how prepared we were for this tax.
Okay, thank you, Sylvester JJ, to tell you how prepared we were for this tax. Folks, if you are watching, this is Screen Vision, and I have with me in studio our own Sylvester Blessing JJ. I'm saying our own because he is a member of this platform, and also the financial secretary of the Liberian Community here in Rwanda. and they are about to leave office. Hopefully on Sunday, 24th, they're going to turn everything over to the current leadership. Should I say current leadership? Okay, there's elected leadership. Those guys that were just elected. So, Sylvester B is here to discuss a lot of issues. I mean, I'm kind of a shocked tonight, like the way we start the show. I'm kind of a shocked to hear that there were people who are, uh, young people coming up and they were given opportunity to lead their colleagues. At the end of the day, they were just running the community by heart. Somebody ready tomorrow, they say, my man, they meet to the so and so place. How can you run an institution like that? And these are people tomorrow. We are young people. When we say, they say young people, they are the future leader. I mean, if you're not prepared yourself today, how are you going to take over? Are you saying that tomorrow the highly future going to be for us if we're going to give you probably state power? I don't think so. But anyway, let's dive into the conversation. So, folks, share the live tonight. Encourage your colleagues to come and sit because we don't want you tomorrow to start to ask JJ. But this is the other financial secretary say you gave him this. The people say you gave this. So that's why we call you on here to discuss everything tonight so that you can be informed. Because there's a saying that says if you are not informed, you will not perform. On that note, let's go back to JJ so that we can continue the discussion. So you said you guys, when it comes to asset, it was only a paper, the report that you guys received from the
To the
previous
best,
leadership.
to the best of my knowledge, it was on the paper, only report.
Okay, thank you. So now, like you said, you were already prepared for that. So what are some of the things you were discussing, but I want you to go in depth? What were some of the things that you put in place, your administration put in place, to make sure that what was happening, it shouldn't be repeated now, like we are discussing now, it shouldn't be repeated.
So this is not a secret. In finance, timely reporting or timely communication is
Mhm,
necessary. So in the statute, the previous statute that brought the power, there's something I did not mention, is about membership due payment. Interestingly, during the past administration, I don't know whether that was ever instituted or enforced.
mm,
You know, if it was, not to my knowledge. So we have to reawaken. Why it's true that we may have experienced some low revenue generation from that screen, but it's something that also make people to get interested in
mhm,
because when people are paying their money and you are timely reporting to the general public based on XYZ pay, it motivates any member to say this leadership is up for transparency.
okay.
They are not receiving money and not bringing it to the light. So that was one thing that I vowed that even if you pay the least amount, people should know that you paid towards the growth and development of the community. So we instituted the membership due payment. Like I mentioned, the
Mhm,
budgeting, the voucher, and the requisition fund. As of now, even the next leadership, unless they want to crack down or not crack down, but bring everything down. But this is the way out. They are going to follow on that path because at the end of the day, having this information will enable whosoever that requesting information from your leadership for audit
mm,
to have the information that they need. You know, so for my office now, particularly as a financial secretary, you are not
mhm,
just getting money and marking it down only. Because at the end of the day, why a shoe auditors wants to see documentation, but they want to see the documentation in the proper format. They want to see documentation. Hello,
mhm,
are you
mhm.
hearing me? They want to
Yeah,
see
sure.
they want to see documentation in the proper format
Mhm,
as well. The path. you took in recalling all of your transactions. So, though, like as mentioned earlier, I'm an emerging professional. If an accountants are listening to me, they will know what exactly I'm talking about. So, as an accountant of an entity, your chart of account, you don't play with it because the chart of account is a pathway of you developing your report.
Because it's
Imagine,
controlling inflow and outflow.
yes, the chart of account is necessary because it is from that chart of account. Those are just basic accounting principles. It is from that chart of account, the income statement, the balance sheet, the owner's equity, the cash flow, those things that you will see in real life. Now, from that chart of account, it comes from. So if you do not have that, then the auditor will be somehow skeptical. My man, how did you record this transaction to arrive to this report? So these are systems that we put in place that we are not we are living, and we are proud to say that this is one of our achievements. So that the next person that takes over, he knows exactly that if he receives a dime from whosoever, he has to pass through that medium to ensuring that he has an accurate report. Another thing, timely reporting. According to the new statute, even before the new statute would have been adopted, I promised myself that 5 days after the quarter, report must be produced.
Okay.
And those things have, and that promise I have lived with it, and I've walked the talk, you know, through all this quarter. Another thing that we also instituted was to ensuring that since we now take over as a leadership, we must operate on a quarterly basis. It is true that everybody is interested. You know, when you talk about leadership, the most important thing everybody wants to know that the money generation aspect.
Sure.
So me as a person that get bit more, so I needed, yeah, I know that. So I needed to say, okay, these things I have long agitated against, you know, I need to come back or take the mantle of authority to ensuring that these things are put in place. So in terms of the system, what we inherited, I've already told you, paper,
Mhm.
all the report. Especially, and it will shock you to know, my brother, if you read our first quarter report, it's mentioned. I don't know whether you have had access to the budget performance report and those
Yeah,
three.
we've been following that.
So at the end of every quarter, I have to generate a budget performance where which budget line enable a favorable performance of the budget, or we had an experience of challenge, So it was surprising to know that even when we were taking over, we accrue a liability. Imagine we took over with zero. I don't know how to really do the math, right? Okay, zero minus 55. I don't know whether
Oh
it
my
will give us
God.
55K or so. You know. So that's why we took over. We accrue a liability that we have to service through the budget, and we make provision for that for us to move on.
Okay. Thank you. I'm kind of a shock tonight, but it is good that it is what it is. So, folks, if you are watching, this is a rest of blessing JJ. I see there are a lot of folks watching tonight. My own cousin Nete Tupi Johnson, she's watching from Morovia. Thanks sis for following the show. Ruth, thanks for watching. She said, I'm watching you live in Liberia. Big boy, yeah, that's good, Ruth. Thanks for watching. And I think she's from Jayjay's side. So there are a lot of people watching tonight, and they are listening to you. You are discussing this kind of a thing, and I think that these are things that should have been done from the beginning. Looking at the issue about finance, you don't joke with it. So if you are taking on this office, you have to put everything in place. There's everything in place to report to the people, and you campaign that. I think that was one of your campaign promises, issue about what I saw, is it standard and timely reporting, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like I told you, as a financial, those these are that's the part. That is a paramount concern because
Okay.
if you do not report timely, those that are supposed to make the decision on with based on what you have on hand for progress. If you do not
Becomes
report
difficult.
timely, it becomes a problem. It will even hold the community hostage. So the timely
Okay.
reporting is very necessary, for us to put into practice.
Okay. So now let's go to let's dive into your own leadership area now. So now you guys took over and then you inherited a broken economy, so to say. At the end of the day, you instituted a lot of strategies that will enhance your reporting, system. But at the end, along the line, there are a lot of programs you guys initiated, and we understand that those programs were financed by some individuals, some were financed by them. But we actually want you to discuss some of the things you guys took over, and then you started working on some of the issue about finance, putting system in place, and you started generating some funds. How those funds were spent?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We go back to the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as I was saying, we go back to the budget. I didn't know the budget is a public document. I want to believe you also have copy to it. So when we were doing our budgeting, we first identified our source of internal revenue generation. You know, just to mention, I'm into the Rwanda stock exchange market.
Okay.
You know, so one of the things that I had on my mind was to also take this community to the Rwanda stock exchange market. It is measuring the budget. But how do we do that? I was relying on us ensuring that we register this community. That was one thing that we'll talk about in one session of our discussion point.
Mm-hmm.
So tracking our expense, our financing progress to projects or initiative that this leadership initiated derive from the budget. In the
Mm.
budget, we specify a line named community programs. So that means all of our activities that we initiated, it was mentioned in the budget. And we
Okay.
had to seek external hands to fund out some of those programs. We went into partnership. We generated money from among attendees or participants in some of our initiative. So that's how we were able to fund out. But by the way, the community as a whole, the leadership, we managed to have funded like 4 programs, different programs.
Mm.
Sporting activities, that was a program initiated by the leadership that has to be funded. Despite we mobilize some fund internally from participants. All Liberian Festival, that's something that also funded by leadership. Despite we mobilize fund from participants as well. Umuganda, I'm sure you know Umuganda, clinical exercise, because those were some of the things that we anticipated to have gotten, the attraction of the Rwandan government when we pursue registering the community. So
Mm.
we have financed that initiative. And the last initiative that we financed as a community program was our trip to Uganda. As a matter of fact, our counterpart from Uganda has also been a blessing to us. Imagine residents of the community, almost 99% are students, and generating membership due payment internally is something very difficult, but at least we managed to have navigated our way through. But we also seek external resources. Our counterpart from Uganda, they have been a blessing, and there's a partnership that we enter in with Kana Cash. Also, we yield we got sufficient cash from that partnership, and we did what we're supposed to do as leadership and play our part in line with our agreements. So
Okay.
we found out full programs on the angle of the leadership. Now,
Throughout your leadership.
yes, full programs as the leadership initiatives.
Yeah.
Now, as a financier, and also people will say politician, but me, I'm not politician, But I was also anticipating election. That's one
Okay.
thing that if you can recall in the past administration, is something that they struggle on. Even administration before the past administration, is something that they struggle on. Because if you do not plan for the for election, when the electoral period reaches, people will think that you do not want to turn over power.
Mhm.
So these are things that we anticipated, and we make sure through my office we secure that fund to take us to election. Now to chapters programs as a way of incorporating those various chapters for
Mhm.
them to feel like they are like what should I say subsidiary of LIBCOR umbrella. What we do, we also make budget. We make provision in the budget to fund out some of their initiatives. And this is where some of those chapters here may not be too okay with me because I was very strict with it. You cannot have a chapter as a whole that is not even contributing financially to the growth of the community and they having program and then when you give 5 million, 10 million. You know what my father can say? You can't take blood from senior. So I'm kind of asking myself, where do you expect us to take the money from? And so those are some of the challenges that we encounter along the way, especially with some chapters having initiative and they read the leadership directly to sponsor, to give initial contribution. Because for me, I was very key. Looking at what we have now, people are not paying due. What if we give everything to them? What if we even give 50% to them? It will be a problem for us. At the end of the day, those same people will be the one mocking us. So what we did was we used a prescribed method. Chapters that benefited from that fund, Kisenyi, Kisenyi benefited from that fund, and Yanza. Yanza had an initiative. They wrote the leadership, as a model institution. Aside of our national program, we had to finance that. We did not finance it as like it is our own, but we make our little contribution for the fact. Now Kisenyi as well, we had to chip in. So these are things that we did from the angle of the financial secretary, ensuring that we have election. And as a matter of fact, now we have an inauguration pending. Inauguration pending, the inauguration committee also looking up to the leadership to make some provision of fund. So imagine if we were empty, our covers was empty. That means there will be a hollow balloon in this community. They may 8 hour money. They won't take us to election. They won't have inauguration for us. So on the overall, it has been a great experience. And with those programs that we initiated, we did not initiate it like the chairman will go in the morning, hardcore and say, "My man, bring money." That exercise a program. Everything initiated was budgeted for, and some of those line items on the budget were strictly adhered to.
So now the trip to Uganda is one of the trips that raised our eyebrow within the Liberian community. There were a lot of people discussing that trip in corners. So are you
Yeah.
saying tonight the trip were fully sponsored by the Liberian community in Rwanda?
No, that's a misunderstanding if I say the trip was fully sponsored. When I
That's
mentioned
all.
that, yeah, come on. When I mentioned that the Ugandan community has been very generous to us over time, and they too were having an inauguration, and our leadership presence needed to have been felt.
Yeah.
So, on the angle of transporting leaders, hmm,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
those okay, the entourage that went with the chairman,
Mm-hmm.
they sponsor themselves.
Okay.
The entourage that went with the chairman, the
Mm-hmm.
outgoing chairman, including the chairman himself, They sponsor themselves. What as a leadership or as a community did was we cannot go to those people with our empty hands. As a matter of fact of goodwill and reciprocating what they have done for us over time, we too have to show kind gesture. So when with something tangible and something substantial to just what can I say reaffirm the collaboration we have had over time. So the paying for the hotel, I want to believe it was the Interrash himself that did so.
You want to believe? What are you saying tonight? You want to
So
believe?
when I
Or
when I say when I say I want to believe, what I'm basically trying to tell the public that if those guys can pay for their own transport as a financial secretary on this call tonight, openly saying those guys their trip to Uganda was sponsored by themselves. The food they
uh-huh.
ate, yeah, the food they ate, the soft drink or alcohol they drank, I want to believe it was from their pocket. Nothing of
Yeah.
such left the community covered to our buttress their spending habit.
So you are telling the public tonight that the only money that was spent were the token that you guys took to contribute
Of course,
for
yes.
towards the people program.
Yes, yes.
So it is good that I raised the concern because there are a lot of people who have been making a lot of claims that they as part of the delegates that were that travel with the
Mm,
Chairman Manuel Patrick. There were some
mm,
people who they thought that weren't okay to be part of they were let me not say okay, were not part of the leadership, but they were part of the delegates that went there. So they were
mhm.
assuming that, I mean, those people were sponsored by the community. But it is good that
No.
tonight you are making it clear that the
Mm.
community did not give people a dime when it comes to transportation, even the hotel and what have you. The only thing you guys did were to contribute to carry your own, you know, make your contribution on the people program. But from the beginning, you said, I mean, it was part of the trip that you guys sponsor. So I think it was good that I came, I brought it back so that you can make some clarity.
Yeah, so thank you. But I want to believe I was explicit enough to mention that that was what the leadership facilitated.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah.
I think it's clear. So
Mm,
let's go to this now. Is this identical issue have been one of the discussion in some street corners, in
mm,
various chat rooms, the issue about the office space. How were the
mm.
office space, you know, how was it funded? How you guys came
So
about, what were it part of the budget? Yeah,
yes,
let's
of
talk about
course,
office
it was
space.
part of the budget. Like I said initially, when we before we could even go and register to say we will contest the election,
Hmm.
we had to do that. We did our
Okay.
sufficient, what can I say, search for a follow up. And as a matter of fact, in Kigali, if you know that, I don't know, but in Kigali, places are very expensive. And at that time, that was the least we could have gotten.
And what was
So
it, man?
it was 250. It's included in the budget. This is not a secret, brother. You
No,
know.
I'm not saying it's a secret.
And I and I
I'm
also
asking
want
you.
to and I also want to encourage. The problem with we Liberians sometimes we rely on the oral information,
Yeah.
instead of us consulting the document, analyzing what the writer have penned down, and then you question the writer based what he have given you through black and white. And,
Hmm.
so back to the question, the rationale behind the office space was we were very ambitious to have our beloved community register. In spite of all of these things I'm saying, I do have my failure. Because I promise my electors or my voter that when you elect me, I will make sure this community have an account. But having an account, it goes with legality. I, as an individual, cannot go and open an account in my name of the community. No, the community has to have a legal identity. So to have a legal identity in Rwanda, it must first start with you having an office space that the Rwandan government will look at you to be someone serious for establishment. So that was the rationale. We budgeted for office space and we acquired the office space. You know, for the registration process, there has been some hinges along the way that we did not do, you know, for the registration process. So there where everything starts from.
Okay. So I want you to make something clear tonight, some things clear tonight to the public, Mr. JJ. You guys said the office space were part of, I mean, the plan, the budget. You guys started discussing that even before you could take, you know, you could take over the community. So how many months you guys pay for? How long did you guys spend to that office? If you want to be clear
So
to the people.
yes. So to ensure proper financial management and with your spending and what you are generating. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said earlier, the rationale behind the office space was to enhance our process, our progress of registering this community. So initially, we did an investigation or an inquiry to the entity responsible for diaspora or any other organization registration in Rwanda, specifically non-profit organization, which is the
Mm-hmm.
Rwanda Governance Board. So when we did an inquiry, and we're interested to know that to register the community is 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
When we got that info, we had a meeting with all leaders. I said to the chairman and his two deputies and the secretary that if we as individuals can take our hard-earned money to register to contest election, that means as partner in progress, we should contribute to this process. So
Mm-hmm.
here's what we're going to do. After acquiring the office space, let's ensure that the rightful documentation are intact. Then, at the end of the day, all members in the NDC, the amount you use to contest for election, you will pay 50% of that amount. So where it starts from, or where has been the delay, was the statute. We had the capacity to have raised that money among ourselves, but the statute was the problem. Remember, we had limited time in our administration. As a matter of fact, we should not even be still serving in August. We should also end our term in June. But because of which of course will come to that end, political uprising and warfare. So here's a rationale. Let us expect that the statute, because this statute is where the registration rests on. Now we have strategic plan of action. Now we have budget. Now we have some cash. Now we have office space. Now we have purchased, some office accessory. Office was all set up, and you went to the office. You had a program to the office, stakeholder engagement. It was all well fine. So the problem was the statute. If we have passed that statute in long time, we have registered the community. So since we failed to do that in the time frame, as a financier of the community, I could not afford continue paying rent on an office where from the beginning we had a sole purpose of using the office to register the community. So for that reason, we stay in the office for 7 months.
Okay.
At the close of 7 months, I had to end the contract. So we left the office, if I can recall, we left the office in March, in the month of March 2025. That's that's where we exited and we put our property to where it belongs. But,
So so
but
so so cor- Yeah, so I'm trying to get something clear tonight, JJ. You are saying that because so you guys are not actually getting an office space because Liberian community in Rwanda need an office space because you guys were getting office space because you wanted to use that means to register the community. Is that what you're saying tonight?
No, that's not the only reason. Because
Because I wanted to be clear. There are a lot of people watching. Because if
we
you
are
telling us that,
listen,
I'm
listen.
coming. If you telling us to know that yes, the office space, the rationale behind office space were to register we know that. So one of the criteria. So let's just make it clear that one of the criteria of registering an organization like ours, you need to have an office space.
Of course.
Am I correct?
Yes, of course.
So that's what I want you to. I want because people understand things different way, and we are
So,
live. There are a lot of people watching this. They never stop for information. We are live on YouTube, and YouTube
yeah,
going to link on.
I know this is
We're
a
also
public
live
record.
on Facebook. So I want us to make things clear so that even the layman who is watching tonight will understand what we are discussing.
So the like I said, the rationale of acquiring the office space is to first legitimize or regularize our community status with the Rwandan government. And
Mhm.
it's obvious, my brother. Though I may not say in depth, but common message should understand. You cannot register a business under government and then when you know you have an office space, as soon as you register the business, then you go back to your home and sleep. Then you shut down the office. No. Then you are not ready for business. And there was no need to have entered in that process. So the essence of having an office space is to enhance the progress, our efforts of legitimizing our status in Rwanda. So that means if everything would have gone well, we're still going to have an office space. We're not going to sit down to our house and operate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you guys spend like 7 months in the office,
Yeah,
and then
roughly
you're paying roughly seven. I want you to be exact. Roughly 7 months or 7 months. Which one are
okay,
we taking?
7 months, 7 months, 7 months.
Let's be clear tonight. So you guys spend 7 months in office, 7 months renting an office space, and you are paying 250,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to I want to come back from somewhere tonight.
Mm.
Was it a template? Like you just took over, and then the little funds that you start to generate, you just want to get an office space because one of your campaign promises were to register the community, and you just took over. And at the end of the day, you the little money that you generated, you started spending it beyond office space right away. Was it ready timely? Were you
Yes,
guys not
it was
looking at
template.
the future like I mean we just took over, so like yeah, I would say like at least some 6 months to work, and maybe
Mm.
we can get an office space. But you just took over, and then the little money you generated from this, you want to register the community, so you spend million plus for 7 months.
Yes, it was timely to just to answer your question, it was timely. What do I mean by that? We needed to have ensured that while operating from the office, the registration does not take a day. It take
Okay.
like 2 to 3 months around that, not more than 90 days. That's the benchmark.
Okay.
You understand? So it was timely. So given the time that we had to operate, it was timely.
Okay. Thank you.
Where my regret is as an individual and as a leader of the NSC was a delay of the statute. Because
So
like I said, we were ambitious to ensuring that that thing was to have been done within the first and second quarter of our operation.
mhm.
Within the first and you know that the transition took a lot of our time. During the election, the transition took a lot of our time. According to the statute, we're supposed to start our operation in July, but we started our operation at the end of August. Oh, so for the fact that our budget performed for that quarter sufficiently, in spite of us paying due, or excuse me, us paying rent for office space, we still perform every quarter. So it was still tumbling.
Okay, thank you, JJ. It was still timely. Indeed, folks, if you are watching, this is Screen Vision, and we are live from Kigali, Rwanda. We are in conversation with Sylvester Blessing JJ. He is the outgoing financial secretary of the Liberian community here in Rwanda. And if you have been following the show, there are a couple of things we've been discussing. You can make your input. I see the man Bakar Sharif. Uh, Abu Bakar Sharif just asked a question, but we're going to discuss that later. Thanks for watching, Abu Bakar Sharif and Joe George. We are Peking is also watching. Thanks Joe for following tonight. So uh, I want us to look at this issue, right?
Hmm.
You guys turn the office over to the people. You're turning the
Hmm.
building over now. It's no longer office. But what was some of the equipment? Not equipment, but sorry, little equipment you got bought. Some of the equipments for the office you got bought for the office. Where are
So,
they now?
so
Yeah,
to
where
tell
are some
you,
of the equipment? Where are they?
yeah, yeah. So to tell you how ambitious we were when we acquired the office space, we needed to have put those necessary things within the office to start our operation because just in case when we proceed with registration, those people will come for inspection.
Okay.
So we managed to have purchased office decks,
Mhm.
non-flangating, and quality. So to tell you the prestige that we brought to the leadership. Yes, but excuse me, I'll go directly to your question. So we purchased like we purchased office decks, we purchased a chair and some plastic and whatsoever to accommodate our visitors and
Some
what.
plastic or some plastic chairs.
Some plastic chairs and a real office chair.
Okay.
Real office chair. So since we had that shock in our operation, delay of registration, all of you, and we had to end our contract. We could not continue paying that amount where we were not achieving the desirable results. So we had to terminate the contract, and then we found somewhere to store our assets.
I want to bring you back. The last time I spoke with what is that? The chairman, Emmanuel Patrick, when it comes to the issue about the registration of the office.
Hmm.
Patrick said the delay came from the district office here when it comes to giving because you guys needed a document from the district office. So the
Hmm.
delay was coming from the district office. And now tonight you are telling the public that the delay came from the statute because the statute were not this, they were not that, so that will cause the delay. But I mean, the viewer will try to analyze and come
Yeah,
to a
so let me just lay on that quick. I do not intend to create misunderstanding. Despite we have having this kind of conversation, I do not intend to create misunderstanding. I have been in the
conclusion.
process. It is a chairman view. But before you, even if the district reply your email or whatsoever that they're ready to do your assessment of your office, we have some of those requirements already. But the bounding requirement are needed. What is the statute governing this body? Do you know when the statute committee or the ACPA committee on constitution was constituted? Do you know when they
No.
finished their work? Do you know how long it took for the statute to be approved? So it took from, I don't know, from September up to February. Just check the time, my brother.
Okay, so let's leave that. Let leave that. So I think the chairman was just
Let's
coming
deal
from
with it.
the other shop, but there are a lot of
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that are also under that caused the delay when it comes to the
Yeah,
registration of the
they were not
office.
under the statute, but there were other factors. But I just
Yeah,
mentioned the statute because it was the key. Because we have already fulfilled majority, let's say the basics. Having office space, having your office well set up, having website, having strategic plan of action, having a budget, showing direction of the organization financially. And now the law. Where is the law?
where is the law to register? Okay, thank you. Where is the law? We need the law to register the office. So, folks, if you are watching, the reason why, one of the key reasons why the Liberian community in Rwanda, uh, the current leadership did not register the Liberian community. One of the key reasons, there are a lot of reasons. One of the key reasons were the statutes. So, if you are watching, I hope you get it clear. The reason your community is not being registered to the Rwanda government is because of the statute. There were a lot
No,
of delay. There were
there
a lot of
we
delay.
you can say there are other factors, but the statute was one of the
But you,
paramount.
you heard me. I said there were a lot of reasons, but one of the key reasons,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
one of the key reasons was the statute. I mean, I'm trying to discuss it because I want to balance it. I'm not, I
Yeah,
want to
no, but
balance it so that people watching
you
tonight so that they can understand that we're being
though
transparent in our
though you
discussion.
are talk show host, but you are journalist as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to be
we try.
accurate, balanced, and credible
Yeah, we
as a
want to
decision.
make it clear because the people watching, we don't want to say like, but how the guys interviewing the financial secretary. We don't want that. So we also want you that watching tonight, you that looking at us here tonight, ask your question. Ask your
So
question. Send your question. We're going to open the floor from your side to question the financial secretary. Like I said, Abu Bakr Sharif is already posted a question. I'm going to pin it shortly to Jayjay. So it left with you, Ruth. Ruth, just. Praising JJ. I don't know. Ruth is praising JJ. I know, nice explanation. It's good. The explanation is clear, but I mean, ask question. It's not everything is clear. Ask question. There are some things that are not clear. You gotta make it clear for us tonight. So, Colonel, where are the materials, the office, the decks, the chair, the plastic chair you spoke of, your ball, really, I mean, good
so what
decks.
what I can tell the public and even the income leadership is that
Are you guys paying due for it? To wear a coroner,
of course
then stuff?
you have to pay for storage.
Oh,
Yes.
and how much you guys paying for that?
It,
How long it
it,
been there for?
it is not a personal property. I think I did this platform of due diligence by ensuring that you guys have access to the financial report. And
I understand. I understand. We got access to the financial report. The folks out there do not have access. Some of them do not have
no
access.
problem.
Most especially.
No problem. No problem.
Uh-huh. That's why I want us
So,
to make it clear.
so the community's property is for the community, not for JJ, not for
And
Patrick,
where
not
is it? Where is it? And how much you got
so,
paid?
so we for storage fee we are paying 20,000 running francs per month.
And how long it been there for now?
Check the time that we exited the office.
I don't know, sir. How long it been there?
I mentioned
How many
March.
months? How many months?
We exited the office from March,
So March, April, May, March,
June,
April, May, June, July.
July,
We are in
August.
August. It stayed there. And we're
How
going to
many
enter
months?
September.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
in
course,
5 months now. Yeah, we're
of
gonna
course.
enter September. So
Mhm.
if the current leadership done, let's assume that the current leadership, like you guys, when you talk over right away, you start running about office space. Let's assume that the current leadership done, you know, continue that. Do you think that they're going to continue the payment to where you guys keeping the stock, or how you guys going to do that? The
It is
materials.
it is their choice to make. It is a choice to make for the fact that as of June 30th, the financial report shows that even if they want, they'll keep those assets there for the next 7 months. What will be turned over to them can accommodate them for that decision taken.
Okay.
So that means we did not find somewhere exorbitant or very expensive, that we put the income leadership in Jubo Jubo, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
So
Sylvester. You
we have those properties saved to a specific location,
okay?
well tight, and everything is okay.
Okay. And then, folks, you are watching. I mean, the community property is well safe. They said where somewhere where we are paying 20K every month, 20 Rwanda franc every month. So you can calculate now how much we have spent over the time. to keep those material there. And one of the reasons we could not register the office because of the delay of the statutes. There were a lot of reasons, but one of the key reasons was that. So there are a lot of things we've been discussing tonight. We are going to the key part. When I say the key part, there were a lot of expenditure expenditure made during their administration. There were a lot of programs that they financed, and there were a lot of income, they generated from other sources. And now they are leaving office. The will leave office comes the 24th of this month, which is on Sunday. And one of the reasons I can tell you out there if you're watching, one of the reasons we thought of having a program before the inauguration where to make all these things clear. We don't want after the inauguration before you start making these things clear. And right after inauguration, we're going to invite those people to come back there. Everything JJ is telling us tonight, we're going to ask them what are those documents that were turned over today as well. If they give us this time, we're going to do that. So now, what is the current state of the community when it comes to finance? How much do we have in our cover now? I don't want you to exaggerate. I don't want you to say we have over 1 million because I sure you know how much you have there. I don't want you to say we have over 1 million, we have over 200,000. No. How much you guys have there now and you're going to turn over to these people they coming Sunday, to our leadership they coming Sunday? Why is the current state, the financial state of the community?
So it is number, so I have to be very careful how how I speak about it, and before my name go based on misunderstanding.
Mhm.
So for the record, when we started this conversation, I told you that we talk about nothing in terms of
Yeah, sure.
finance. Nothing. So any accounting student or someone who have the basis in accounting, they will know what exactly I'm about to say. The community capital balance. I
Mm.
mean everything that the community own,
Mm-hmm.
cash, property, everything that the community own. When we took over, it was zero. In fact, we were negative because we were owing people. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
As of now, our capital stands at 882,696 Rwandan francs. Oh, in terms of monetary value now, 96 Rwandan francs. That means if we were to sell the property that we get,
Mm-hmm.
if we were to liquidate all of our assets to get the remaining cash, we add it to the cash that we get on hand now. If we just say one thing, solve the whole community, everything that we get,
Why
that
are
that
we
relate.
going to do that?
I'm just making an example now to
Mm-hmm.
just
Right.
give a reality in terms of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Why the community own everything, cash on hand, property, whatsoever. When we decide to liquidate the property and to get the cash out,
How much we have? Let's go
it will,
ahead.
it will change. I'm first starting from the capital to just give an
Yeah.
overview. So to tell you that the position that we are in now,
Mm-hmm.
cash on hand as of June 30th, we have 585,826 running francs plus $100 US. So if you were to convert the dollars at the current rate, you understand that the second National Administrative Council took over the community with zero and leaving half a
We
billion.
we heard that already. You makes that clear to us. I think the public know that. We
No,
we we, we
I'm just trying to give the picture. So
I
you will,
understand. I
yes, yes.
understand. We know that you talk about broken, economy. There were nothing, zero balance. But when they give you all the report, yeah,
People,
nothing at all. You guys talk about with nothing. Yeah,
nothing.
it was
Anybody
yeah.
can
So
come back and debunk it, nothing.
yeah, sure. So now you are leaving the office with this amount.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
folks, if you're watching, I hope you got your pen and your paper. Can you tell the public how much was generated, expected in cash? We will get there. So if you are
So we
watching, you just listen to, yeah,
mhm.
you just listen to JJ. I mean, discussing the actual amount that we have. That means, is that why you guys going to turn over to the community?
So normally we do a quarterly report. This is what the cash on hand. The cash on hand.
Yeah, the cash on hand now. Yeah, but we just got a few more days. So,
Mhm.
uh, uh, after the inauguration, because
Mm.
probably you guys will not give this identical money on the day of the inauguration. Is that why you guys going to turn over
So
to the community?
we will give
Do
the
you think
money to the leadership on the day of
on the
inauguration.
day of the inauguration? Okay, okay, now
I plan to do that. I plan to
you
do
plan
that.
to do that, or the leadership plan to do that?
After all, we have to turn over. So if I'm in possession of cash when the financial secretary should have been inaugurated and the treasurer should have been inaugurated, why should I keep possession of the cash?
No, not you in person, Mr. JJ. You have a team. That's what I'm asking you. You
It
guys are
is
working together as a
okay.
team. So
Maybe,
is
maybe
that is that is that is that it? Is
okay.
that
We
I'm
plan to
coming,
do
sorry,
that. Let me just
I'm
give the
coming.
question.
Is that
Mm.
why you guys plan to do to turn
Of
over
course,
on the day of the inauguration? Because we will be there.
yes. So we will turn over this cash on the day of inauguration, and all supporting documents will be shared via emails and whatsoever that is hard copy will also be given to them physical.
Including the information about our property.
Everything, my brother. It has to be done that day.
Okay. So
No
thank you.
turning.
Before, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, JJ. So, folks, if you are watching, we understand that we have something around 800,000 Rwanda franc will be turned over to the current.
No, you are mistaken. I'm saying if we
Listen,
were to
listen, listen.
mhm,
You talk about, you said the total, and you told me that I got like $100 US on him right now, right?
mhm.
Then how
Let me
many
read
Rwanda
it.
franc you
Wait,
got?
wait, 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 wait. Because I'm morning bender. I don't want you confuse the interaction. Just
Okay,
wait
go
to
ahead. Let me give you the chance.
from the point from the beginning. I said,
Mm-hmm.
including cash on hand and our non-current assets,
Okay.
in spite of all what we have spent over time, our
Mm-hmm.
the community current capital stands
Mm-hmm.
at 882,696. That means this figure is not in money.
Yeah, the property.
Exactly. So that means if the leadership decide to just dissolve the community and sell everything, then that the money that we get on our hand at the end of it.
Okay.
Okay. So now cash on hand
Mm-hmm.
is 585,000 in what I have mentioned. This figure. So let me just state directly. So, excuse me. So it's 585,826,000 Rwandan francs
Plus,
plus $100. That is cash on hand.
yeah. So
So
cash
that
on
means
hand.
yes. So if you were to do the math now, subtract just the Rwandan francs from the total capital that I gave you.
So, Mr. JJ, it's clear.
Okay, thank you.
The actual money on hand now is in 500,000 plus
Mhm.
$100 US.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So if you okay foreign it is something. So if you change I don't want to do the perfect you Mavia.
You leave my prophet alone, my brother. Leave my prophet. Leave my
Okay,
prophet.
so that's fine. It's clear tonight. I want to say
So that
thank you so
means,
much for
let me just leverage on this. That means if we were to change the current dollars now, our
Mhm.
cash on him might likely increase up to 700 plus.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
If we change the current dollars, probably we might be in 700 plus Rwanda franc,
Yeah,
which
give
is
any
a
extra.
good sum of money, to turn over to the current leadership. That's a
So
good thing.
compare. So now compare to what we inherited,
No, no, no. You guys did. I mean, you guys did well.
of
For an
course.
answer of the leadership, like for us, like I told you on this platform, we discuss politics, but we discuss politics in a positive manner, in a negative way. So we support progress. We have been following the conversation. We have been following all of the reports in the chat
Yes,
room. There are a lot of updates. Unlike the other government, people are not seeing financial updates. The other leadership rather. But you guys are always there giving update. Ekimbatawa people are saying that the platform was initiated. You guys are the one who organized the platform because we're always there discussing some issue. We don't care. As far as concerned, this screen vision, we don't discuss politics to that extent. If we're discussing politics, let's discuss factual politics.
of course.
They be constructing our politics in our discussion. Now discuss you see the right thing and then you say no, it's wrong. Is that the politics we want to discuss here? At the end of the day, you say, oh, they fund the leadership, the screen vision, the organized screen vision.
So
We don't discuss that with
while we stay
mm-hmm.
on the financial stance of the community, this is something I also want to point out.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you check the budget, the amount projected for revenue generation was something around 9.2 million plus,
Okay.
right? And even the expenditure was around 9 million. So if we were to have generated all of that amount, we would still have to leave 500 plus in the coverage. But on the overall, despite our challenges of internal revenue generation, and so forth, our budget performed above 60%.
Okay.
You have the report. If you get facts, check out they can also do so.
We will do that.
Yeah.
So
So
we
on
wanna
the
say thank you so
overall,
much.
we perform above 60%. Why is shooting in our country 60% is fairly mad. But compare the time frame that we served the Liberian community in Rwanda for.
Mhm.
Less than 11 months, so to speak, in active operation, less than 11 months, roughly around 10 months. We have generated that amount from scratch. So
Oh.
I'm not here to blow my trumpet, though we'll go to the next side where we identify some failures from my end. But I think that the leadership as a whole did extremely well to have raised such amount in spite of our difficulties.
Okay. So, thank you, folks. If you are watching this is Screen Vision, we want to say thanks for following the conversation tonight and thanks for sharing. There are a lot of people who are watching tonight. We want to give the public the time now to ask your question. Sylvester is here. Mr. Jayjay going to respond to your questions. I think so far we have one question on hand. Like I just said, two boys from the same person. Let me just pin this question from Sharif Abu Abu Bwaka Sharif. He said, how does Libako generate income and what are some generating systems? Okay, secondly, what are some recommendations to the incoming leadership to improve income generation for the betterment of the organization and its people from your experience? I think you've seen the
Yes, just keep it painted. Good
yeah,
question. So
like I said, folks, if you are not informed, you will not perform. So it's good that he asked the question because, like you said, you need to stay on existing documents to start from somewhere. Like you guys started from scratch. We don't want the current leadership to start from there.
thank you. So before I answer this question, let me just state for the record, in line with the second question, I will answer it. I have a good working relationship with the income leadership, the financial secretary as a whole, the treasurer
Okay.
as a whole. Good fun. As a matter of fact, even our joint transition meetings that we have had, I've also have a quasi meeting, and share some documents, and we all look at it together and provide some deep insights. So now back to Mr. Sherry questions. Our income generation, if you check the budget, we identify roughly for internal, we identify return on investment for business events, return on investment for partnership somewhere around, internal revenue generation, particularly for from membership due, donations, and
Mm-hmm.
then I think interest on fixed time deposits, fixed time deposit, interest on fixed time deposits, And something else internally now. For
Yeah.
external donations, we know, let me say this for the record again. We are leadership that decided that we cannot rely on politicians to support diaspora communities.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, once you leave home, you have to make impact. So, as we have considered ourselves as a diaspora community, if we will have generated sufficient among ourselves, we'll say, okay, now we have generated sufficient, we can give back to our leaders. So internally, we projected millions per quarter, something around. You have, so Mr. Sherry, I urge you to check out the budget. Though maybe my answer may not sufficiently satisfy your question. But internally, we flag out internal donations, membership due payment, that which I was very strict on, and no one can even tell me that I wasn't strict because I was very strict. You know, membership due payment, return on investment for event partnership or business development, and so forth. So we anticipated that if we have generated more money, those small entrepreneurs in Rwanda that own business as a Liberian, we could also pump money into them to at least give us something in return. But again, that was another thing to discuss maybe at the end of the program, at the end of this discussion.
Yeah.
But political will was somehow lacking in that regard. You know, I'm a financial secretary. I could not just take money and say, "Oh, Mr. X is doing business," and let money
We,
to.
we understand. So he
So
also mentioned some of
with the second question, recommendations of the incoming leadership.
no, let's look at the income generating streams. Is that what you
Yeah,
are discussing now?
yes, those were the income generating streams internally. I
Okay,
mentioned
what's about
intern.
extender?
Yeah, so extender, we're just relying on any other factors, maybe politician, or maybe partnership out of Rwanda, and so forth. So extender could be anything generated
We
from,
understand. So, sir, your recommendation to leadership, the second question.
yeah. So again, my recommendation to this incoming leadership, like I mentioned in our Kwasa, interaction with the two financiers, you know, at the end of the day, you must first show to the community that you are credible. When we
Mhm.
started generating money from membership due, the first month we have 5,000. It broke me down. Well, some people that we Liberian, we just get a kind of nature. We do not want to support each other, so to speak. Even in
Yeah.
our country, paying tax or government revenue is something difficult that people
Problem.
gotta go. Yeah, you understand. But at least we were able to achieve that objectives. When we first started, membership deepening were very low, 5,000. Before you go on now to the following months, it started to increase until we started achieving membership deepening of 100,000 plus. So my one advice to the leadership, you must, maybe my approach toward membership due collection may not have been adequate enough to mobilize more funds, more fund. So you have to deploy your own approach now. But collecting revenue internally from among your members is key. So you must not bend on that aspect of your budget line. Two, ensure that where we stop, we can also continue from there. Or the leadership can also continue from there. What do I mean? They have ample time to ensuring that this community is registered. My brother Tatos, when this community is registered, there are a lot of benefit. Like I mentioned, I'm in the
Yeah.
Rwanda Stock Exchange. Currently, I'm there. Every year I get my dividend.
And you got to explain how stock get changed. I say I want to get it too.
No, but that one, that different
Yeah,
one.
we talk about it.
Every year I get my dividend. So entity can enter Rwanda Stock Exchange. You understand? So if this community is registered, duly registered with the Rwanda government, they can also get engaged. When they get engaged, every year, depending how much they put in, every year they will know what they are getting. At the end of the day, the money coming in. And the stock exchange, the way it is, a day that hard cut, they
You
sell that
take it.
share,
Okay, sell the share.
that money come back to them. And good enough now, the exchange rate is increasing day by day, day by day. So imagine if I'm selling my share, and not exchange rate, but the share prices is increasing day by day. So imagine
Okay.
I used to purchase share at 200, now my share value go up to 500. So if I decide to share my share, I get 300 profit. Depending how much I have there. You understand? So the legality of the community is key. So they have to register the community. Third, the last, they must ensure that when you have registered a community, you have a bank account. Now, the way it looks, when you have a bank account as an institution, I will advise them to do time deposit. That is, bank can make money from your money. But when
Mm-hmm.
bank make money from your money, they give you a portion of what they use from your money. So giving a time deposit, if you save certain portion of what you generated from your from your membership due or quarterly due, you save it in the bank and give it time to maybe you say, okay, this time deposit I will withdraw my money after every 4 months, after every 3 months. You put 300 there, after 3 months you will get more than 300. I mean that determine that maybe the bank and you can also. So that's another
Sure.
way to while you are saving, you earning on your saving. And they must also leverage on their business partnership with Liberian entrepreneurs. So in that way, it can better enhance the revenue generation stream. Like I said earlier, there where we did not achieve because once the community was in register, we could not have go the other steps. So everything goes into categories. So I
Okay.
urge the incoming leadership to not bend on that aspect.
Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, I encourage incoming
And
leadership.
also, sorry, in turn, externally, they should also leverage on contacts. They should also leverage on contacts. How we were able to overcome some of these shocks that we experience as leaders because we leverage on some of those external contacts that have enabled us to have stand to where we are today. You know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's clear. He asking another question, but I think you already answered this question talking about how much was generated. Can you tell the public how much was generated, spent, and cash on hand? I think you already
So,
you
so
already
normally, what we do, Mr. Sharif, what we do at the end of each quarter, there is a report published to the public. So, um, based on what we have at the end of this quarter, you can just do an accumulation and do your addition whatsoever, just subtraction whatsoever. So, as a matter of fact, like I said, our budget performed over 60%. And I think we're on a good footing and are looking forward to the next leadership to raise the bar because we
okay.
have raised the bar beyond 50%. So the next leadership has to raise the bar now above the sixty
So let,
percent.
let, let thank you, thank you, thank you. I think it's clear. Now let's dive into something different, a little politics small.
Mm.
How was the working relationship? I mean, during your administration, with your colleagues, the chairman, the the second man commander for administration, all those people. How was it working? Was it really cordial?
In leadership there is turbulence. You know, managing internal politics is not something easy.
Hmm.
You know, it's something that requires you to reduce some of your expectation or interest. The essence of politics is how well you harmonize your interests or achieve an objective because you're in two or on this platform. You have your interest, I have my interest. But
Hmm.
it's because we harmonize our different ambition to come here to just have a one platform and disseminate informations. So the working relationship was cordial to some extent. When I mean to some extent, If the working relationship wasn't cordial, we would not have achieved what we have today or what we have experienced as an success today, as an achievement today.
Okay.
If the working relationship was not as cordial, there were many programs who have been put stop to. There would have been hollow balloons externally coming to the public.
Hmm.
But we manage our internal conflicts. I'm not telling you there wasn't conflict. Anyone tell you there wasn't conflict allowed to you. Of course, there's conflict. Even in national governance, there's conflict. Among cabinet member of the president, there's conflict. But how well you manage those individual interests? Let's put the community first. LIBCOR is above all else. So internally, we did what we could have done internally. We wash our dirty clothes, we clean it, we wear it, we pick up the mantle, and we move the community forward. It was
Okay.
not
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. So now, during the campaign, during the campaign, we understand that they both candidates came from the same leadership. There's leadership.
Of course.
You have the SG who from their leadership, and they also have the SG who is Jura, and they also have Eka who is from
Mm,
their leadership. Eka
mm,
was the second person in command, right, to the chairman.
yes. Mm,
Now, along the line, there was some misunderstanding, so to speak, because we saw the chairman going his way, and for you, we didn't see you. I mean, really. So those two people, looking at the two
sorry,
people doing the
sorry, I
election,
did not get your question. Me, you didn't
I,
see
I,
me?
I'm saying no. When I'm saying I didn't see you
Mm.
campaigning, when I say I didn't see you, like the way the chairman was
So,
campaigning
what's your
for.
question directly to me?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you.
coming now. I'm coming.
Mm,
The question to you now: those two
mm.
people, who were you supporting during the election?
So, like I said, you know, managing internal policy is difficult. And we make an error to have two individuals from the current leadership contesting against each other. That clearly shows to the public now we
Jeez.
know there's a division.
Mhm.
Because if Mr. James Ekadenia is next to him, Mr. Emmanuel Patrick, everybody trying to look for successor. It's obvious that you have worked along with those two colleagues. And you see that both of them have issue of contesting against each other. We as leadership will fail to harmonize that particular interest that
Feel it.
have brought us to, yes, we fail to have harmonized that interest. So that's what showed the division. But to a greater extent, there was no division in the leadership despite of the electoral process. So now back to your question. Mr. Emmanuel Patrick chose his support to Mr. Juraji Munga. So for me, I'm not a politician because I'm not rascal. When you when you're not ready to be when you're not ready to be rascal, don't be politicians. For me, I'm not. So I have worked with those two individuals that contested in the election, and I decided as an individual to take my time, go to the ballot box, and midst of that division, or a midst of them contesting against each other. Let me go to the ballot box and vote who I want to. But
Okay.
instead of going all the time, going around with James or going around with Jura, for me, it would have shown much more division than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't support anyone for the
You know,
record.
you just went to the ballot and then you voted. The vote is between you and God
It between
tonight.
me, I did not support anyone. You call James, and will let you know.
But it is possible to tell tonight who you
No,
voted for.
listen. No, I'm just saying this because those two individuals engaged me.
Okay.
Both of them engagement. Both of them engagement. And I told them, here's my word. Here's my word. I told them, you guys have to harmonize your interest.
Thank you, JJ. So we have been discussing for a long time now. Is there anything that we left out that you really want the public to know tonight? We're about to close.
Yeah, so basically maybe some of those things I already mentioned in our think our course of conversation. I would firstly like to appreciate. I don't know whether we have reached to that part,
Yeah,
but I would
yeah,
like
sure. We're about to go. Yeah, so you can do that. You can tell us, and then you close. You wrap up.
I would like to appreciate the peace loving people of Rwanda, especially Liberian residing here. But first of all, follow me the opportunity, having confidence in me to discharge my function adequately. I would also like to appreciate the second NEC and as well as NAC for also creating an avenue that we could work together, that we work together through. So now my challenge is, I think I've answered this in Mr. Sherry's question,
Yeah.
whereby we need to ensure that this community is registered. I campaign on the basis of capital mobilization, which of course I pass, timely and financial management of reporting, which of course I pass. But one thing I also did not mention, but I had conversation with people that our community fund will not be collected through an individual mobile money or stored in an individual account.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I defaulted on that, predicated upon us not registering the community to legitimize our status, and I had no choice.
Hmm.
So, Screen Vision, I also want to appreciate you for affording me this opportunity to tell my story. It's something that I believe is an opportunity that is not given to anyone at any time. But for the fact that this was given to me in the length of time we have had this discussion, I sincerely appreciate. And I also want to tell residents of this community that you have to cordially work with the new leadership. While it's true that we may have had our own ills, but we have success. And it's that success and ills that we are transferring to the next leadership. Please collaborate with them to ensuring that at least let us record strong performance in our revenue generation from membership due payment. On that note, I would like to appreciate my listeners for sparing their time to listen to me, and I sincerely appreciate the outgoing leadership for the job well done.
Thank you so much, JJ. I want to say thank to you and your leadership, particularly you for for appearing on our platform to discuss some of these things. Like I said, we are young people, and the future with us tomorrow. We are going to school. We will be taking a mantle of authority tomorrow. The way you're going to proceed today is going to have an effect on you in the future, positive or negative. Going to have it on you. So as a young man, Kamel, we've been following your progress. I mean, you're doing your leadership, though you are still there, but you just got a few more days to leave this power. And you came out here to discuss everything. What have been your generated? I mean, it's good like that. I think right now we can say if you having to go ahead, but if you leave this place with your degree, we can get you certain position to Ministry of Finance, and you can work there. You can manage a whole organization of finance because, like you stated right here, everybody will follow it. It's clear. I get me. I get me. Me trust you, my organization, as my man. Take care of the organization because I know that the finance aspect is going to be under control. We need transparency and accountability. We as young people. I mean, that's the best way to go. Don't no, let's do this, and I want to encourage you to stay on your path, like the way you are proceeding.
And
It's like
Mr. Ballah, yeah, just give me like 30 seconds. It's something I just want to tell the public and also tell my successor. The
mhm.
position that I occupied is very technical. It's not something that you can just joke with. because everybody eyes on you.
You just got 2 minutes, sir. Just 1 minute. Just wrap up.
Yeah, everybody eyes on you. It's very technical, and in spite of my busy schedule, and as a brother and friend, and,
Mhm.
still had to make time for what I took oath for. So it wasn't easy. And on that note, I hope that my successor will also volunteer himself beyond all measures, so ensuring that they do a great work.
Thank you so much, JJ. We want to say thanks for appearing on our platform. Do have a say a good night. Thank you so much. And to
Likewise.
our folks watching, we want to say thank you so much. We want to say thanks to I want to call my own name. Titus V. Ballah, and they call me David Colley, and thanks for watching us tonight. Ambassador Musa Kamara, thanks for watching. Yandini C. Williams, thanks for watching. Nete Tupi Johnson, thanks for watching. Ruth, thanks for watching. Samuel G. Moore, thanks for watching. Abu Baka Sherry, thanks for watching. And Ruth, again, we want to say thanks to everyone for watching. And we're going to be here on Wednesday. Indeed, every Wednesday is environmental talk. So we're going to come back here on Wednesday to discuss. We'll have Sunday for our regular show. But this coming Sunday, we'll now have a show. We're going to have a show on Wednesday. Yeah, Sunday, we're going to be in Yanza or release to Yanza on Sunday. Let's say Saturday because Sunday will be the program. And on that note, we want to say thanks so much for always following Screen Vision. Take this word with you or this phrase. If you are not informed, you will not perform. So it's good that you always follow conversation like this so that you can be informed about the happening. Don't go outside and say they say you hold it from the house's mouth. The men who control the finance of the Liberian community in Rwanda. Thank you so much. I just keep on trying. Let me leave this song with Indeed, some will call you good for nothing, but just know that you are good for something. Whatever you are watching us tonight, I want to say thanks for joining our conversation tonight. My name is Titus V. Ballah, and I've been your presenter, Sylvester Blessing JJ. Sylvester Blessing JJ was our guest on the show tonight. Until then, you have a say a good night. Bye bye.